Yeah, we've grappled with it for a little while, and the nature of the injury is that you never know, and you're sort of taking it a little bit day by day. We've run out of time. We sort of flagged this a week or so ago that it will take sort of 4+ weeks to get him up and running, and we've run out of time, unfortunately, but really optimistic and hopeful for the second test match. So I suppose the next question is, what's the time frame? What does it look like for the second test? Not really going to be able to answer that, other than to say that he'll be back bowling this week. And that's a huge step, and that was the big variable that we wanted to add in and get that information. And so we're on the journey to that second test match, and very hopeful that will be a positive outcome.
Obviously, such a key part of this team. Has the health been kind of viewed as we're going to be pretty tight? It was pretty prepared.
Oh, we didn't necessarily know. We've got great trust and faith in our medical team, and they were updating us when they could. And as I said, we just ran out of time around that. So we flip into Steve Smith being the captain, and we're incredibly fortunate to have such a, I suppose, experienced captain himself. He's filled in for Paddy 6 times since Paddy's taken over. So they're a good working sort of couple, so to speak. I don't want that to be a grab or anything, but they work well together. And there'll be a nice handover. And Paddy will be around the group as well, so he'll come to Perth with us, so I can declare that. And it'll almost be one of those things where you'll see him in work, and it'll almost be a question of why isn't he playing in Perth? That's where we think he'll be placed by that stage. So we're excited by getting eyes on him in a bowling capacity.
How sort of bigger blow is it though? It's going to be
Yeah, losing your captain's not ideal, but when you talk about Scott Boland being the potential replacement, it's not bad. It's not a bad position to be in. Ideally we want the captain available for stability and decision making, but as I said, Steve Smith will slide into that position, and I suppose you get excited about when he does come back, what an injection that will be to the group. A fully fit Pat Cummins returning some stage during the Ashes, and that's what we're hopeful for.
Let's kind of talk about wanting to be aggressive, or you become sort of having to be aggressive with his rehab and stuff. Where would the risk come now? Is there a point, in his rehab, in his bowling rehab, where we might go, all right, we might need to take a risk here?
Yeah, you're probably asking me medical, you are asking me medical questions there. So I don't want to sort of swim in that lane. So as I said, once the variables are added into the program, then we as a coaching staff get informed of that, and it'll be this week, resumption of bowling, see how he pulls up, and then we'll make decisions moving forward. And I know that sounds really boring, and everyone wants a time frame and what's the risk associated with it. There's better people than I to speculate on what that is, and with the nature of this injury, it's never going to be a clear time frame, and I think that's what everyone here today wants, is a time frame to say this is definitely what will happen. And we're not in a position to do that, and I'd never put the medical team under that sort of duress either.
How's Cameron going?
So some positive news for him. He resumed bowling on the back of that slight side awareness that he had that ruled him out of the first 2 one-day internationals. So I'll get an update really today of how he's pulled up from yesterday's bowl. He bowled yesterday, and then that'll be a decision leading into Shield Game 3 what that looks like. If it's not Shield Game 3 that he bowls in, he still will be bowling in some capacity in and around that game, and then it'll be really excited about what Shield 4 looks like, and a couple of good Shield rounds to get excited about. Some guys returning. Bo Webster also returns, Brendan Doggett. So you start to build the picture when you see those guys returning, and hopefully there's some runs and some overs under their belt to get excited about.
And he'll play the Shield game regardless of whether he's bowling.
Who's that?
Cam.
Cam. Yeah. As far as I know, So he's ready to go as a bat, and then the second part of that is what bowling capabilities he'll have in that game, and that's yet to be decided. It'll be more how he's pulled up from yesterday, and the medical team will assess that. Nick Jones is on the ground in Perth, which is an advantage for us.
In terms of the batting side, who's best placed, do you think, at the moment? Bowling side wasn't at the top of the order?
We haven't made that decision, and there's a couple of people that you guys will be well aware of that have done a good job in the first few Shield rounds. We've got another Shield round to go, and then we'll get busy selecting that. So the names that have been mentioned out there are names that we're talking about. I'm sure you've mentioned a few.
With the T20s role, like this team on a pretty incredible role since the last World Cup. There's been a lot of talk about the batting shift potentially in terms of maybe going a bit more aggressive. Just you explain if there's been a shift, what it's like from your perspective.
Yeah, there has been a shift, and we sort of framed it as, I think we're 11 games in now, so from the initial conversation, and we've got another 5 against India and then 3 against Pakistan, so we've got another 8 games, and we feel like we're at the halfway point. But when we set out on this journey, we've failed in a couple of World Cups previously, so we wanted to shift and stretch the boundaries on what we thought we could do. So yeah, we have been more aggressive. We've played people in different positions. Tim David's batted a little bit higher than previously, so our admission was that we haven't been successful in a couple of campaigns. We've got to change things up. We've got to stretch ourselves, and I think it's exciting the way we're playing. And is it the style that can win a World Cup? We believe that. Will we have to pivot and nuance it slightly depending on whether we're in Colombo or Delhi or Calcutta? Then there's no doubt about that. So we feel like picking a 15 that's adaptable enough and aggressive enough to win a World Cup will be, as a batting unit, the way we want to go.
And then I guess you've been forced into some changes with staff retiring. A few shifts with your bowling. Like, do you feel like there's more moving pieces on that front?
I wouldn't call them moving pieces, but we're sort of gathering information around what that next crop. We've been so stable with Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood, even in white ball formats, in particular T20. So to see Ellis shape as a frontline bowler, how we use him, to see Xavier Bartlett, Sean Abbott now gets a little bit more runway in terms of pressing his claims as well. So there's excitement, and then Marley Beardman joining us in amongst the middle of this series. It's exciting. He joined us in England. That seems like an eternity ago. I don't even know what year it was. I think it was 2024 where he come over and toured with us. So we're excited by that next crop, and yeah, they're getting good opportunity in amongst the demands, which is the schedule. We've got, we're talking mainly about Ashes here, and we're in the middle of 1v2 in the world in the T20 contest. So thanks for the questions around white ball.
How hard is that job going to be these next 2 weeks in terms of you've got players coming in and out of your squad because of those short games?
Yeah, it's difficult because it's so individually tailored as well as to getting players ready for the first test in Perth, and we copped a bit of criticism around our performance last year, and we've got some good Shield cricket gaps to manufacture for players to go through Shield round 4 to get ready for that test match, and then also you don't want to give up on your white ball preparation for a World Cup. So we've got to respect the group that's in the change room at the moment. They're building for something as well, and a lot of those players aren't involved in test match cricket. So you've really got to respect and find that balance, in particular as a coach of all 3 formats, and all 3 formats are equally important to everyone in those change rooms. So we'll have some players go through Shield 4, which I think has been mentioned. Have they been mentioned? Mm-hmm. Players going through Shield 4? Yeah. So that's a good opportunity for them to put the finishing touches on their prep for an Ashes campaign.
Where does this sort of game fit in, I guess, in that, the new style journey, I guess?
It's the sort of 12th game since we sort of started, so we've had 11 games. Where does it fit in? You're playing against India, so it's a really good test on whether this style will hold up. So we're excited by that. They're the number 1 ranked team in the world, and I think we're number 2. Hope we got that right. So we're excited by testing ourselves against the best, and those younger players that have got some opportunity, better opportunity than play against the best team in the world and stand up in that environment. And I think it's sold out here, sold out Melbourne, sold out. It feels like it's sold out everywhere, so it's going to be exciting playing in front of big crowds at home.
On Mitch Marsh, I think George's been on record saying he's still in the frame for the Ashes. What would his, would you guys be comfortable with him off the back of, games? I think he might be able to play last one before the Ashes after this series. Where does that stand?
Yeah, we would be comfortable picking someone, and if you want to put a name to it, Mitch Marsh, out of white ball cricket, if we felt like that was going to benefit the test team. It's very hard. He's a captain of the white ball team. It's very hard for him to vacate and balance out test preparation if he was to be in the window for that. We feel he's batting as well as he has for a long period of time, and when he got dropped last summer, I think he was one of our highest averages from Headingley to that point. So his reintroduction during the Ashes 2023 at Headingley to that point, he was going really well. He hit a bit of a flat patch there, and we felt it best at that time to bring Bo Webster in, and we still haven't given up on Mitch Marsh's test career. And I think George Bailey's been on the record around that. So what would the prep look like for him? It would have to be through white ball, or maybe some Shield cricket after white ball if he isn't in that first squad, and then compress his claim through that. So there's Shield 5 and 6 also when we're playing the test matches, where players that aren't in the first test will obviously go to work there.
We saw 10 big statement
Yeah.
today. I guess he gets a chance. Can you just talk us through that, and I guess what you're excited to see if he gets a shot?
Yeah, Adam Zampa won't be a part of the whole series now. Mm-hmm. So I think that's been confirmed publicly. so he's got some things to take care of at home, and exciting time for him with his second kid on the way. But to see Tanvir back around the group, he's been on World Cup journeys with us before as sort of a reserve player. Yeah, it'd be nice. Matty Kuhneman's done well as well. You think of the first one-day international in Perth. It's great to see him stand up. So we've got to balance out what type of spinner that we would like. We've got two different varieties there, and a left-arm spinner and a right-arm leg spinner. But to see Tanvir back around the group is exciting. I think the time when Adam Zampa isn't here, he'll be critically important to what we do. So any games that we can get into him now, we see as a huge bonus.
Is Josh Inglis good to go?
Yes. I think he was ticking some stuff off today, so he's returned to play. I'm going to say what I saw was good. The official tick-off will probably come when he's back at the hotel and he sees the medical team, so let's go with he's available. I've got that in my head anyway, so...
Was there a setback with him? Was he going to play in the 1 days?
Yeah, there was. I don't think it was a setback. I think it was just a slower progression than. Yeah, this is the dangerous thing with putting time frames onto injuries. Oh, it's a calf injury, it's 3 weeks. So it's calf injury, it's 4. Whatever it may be, everyone's different and everyone recovers at different paces. And he's got a big summer ahead. So yeah, was it slow? Was it fast? He's here now, and yeah, he missed out on the 1 days. Gave some opportunity to others, and we saw Josh Phillippe play in that first game. So that's not ideal for Ingo, but beneficial for Josh.
All good. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.